Have you ever struggled with your attack forehand? Well, stay tuned. I'm going to share with you one of my favorite drills for working on the attack and also some secret tips that'll help you never miss that attack forehand. Hi, it's Chris Lewitt, top American junior coach and coach to many #1 juniors in the United States. Let's dive into the attack forehand. I'll show you my favorite drills and I'll try to help you out with my best tips. So I want to dive right into these tricky situations where you're moving forward, you have a short ball, could be a low ball, could be a high ball or a medium height ball. And this is an area that many people struggle with hitting consistent attack shots, consistent winning shots when they're moving forward. So the first thing that I would tell you is get 2 sticks in a rope and set up a high string like this. This is also called the air zone. I love this device. And if you're a fan of the channel, you know that I use this device for all sorts of cool drills. But this is essential on attack shots. And what you want to work on is topspin. Topspin is the key. So you get a short ball and you want to try to make topspin over this high line, especially if the ball is higher. So if that's, maybe we'll start up higher. Everybody has trouble with high ball attacks. And one of the keys is to spin the ball. So when you get a ball up here, make sure you don't hit that ball flat or downward. That's a very common mistake. Never hit down on a ball. Very rare, 99.9% of the time, you want to hit up on the ball. The only time you'd ever smash a ball downward is when it's high and you're very close to the net and you can just smash it straight down to the court. In general, from this mid-court area, you want to hit up on the high ball. So that's my #1 tip for you guys, and that's the drill you got to work on. If you have a high attack shot, like a sitter, you got to hit up on the high ball. So you got to brush those high balls. A lot of people don't think that's possible, but that's not the case. You can take a ball up here, shoulder height, and you can absolutely spin that ball and make it safe. So you got a ball up here. You want to spin it. What I did was I set up a moderately high string here. Check this out. Not too high, but I got a foot or two, maybe 2.5 feet on the edges here, maybe 1.5 feet here, and you can work on spinning the ball straight through that yellow line on your attack shots to make them safe. And most people aim way too low. They hit their attack shots down. They probably take a ball up here and kind of go like that. They hit it just like that, real close to the net. That's a mistake, especially when you're learning. When you're learning to attack mid-court balls, you want to be able to make them 10 out of 10 times, 100% of the time, never miss an attack. And the key is, especially on the high ones, you hit up, you brush up on the high ball, and you aim over the string. So the string is absolutely essential to getting the consistency and margin on your attack shots. Don't make the mistake like I just showed you, hitting too close to the net. So you have a high one here, and you hit up on the high ball. That was a very good one. If you notice, I skimmed the string, and that string is 1.5, 2 feet above the net. So now I got a nice clearance, and my ball is dipping. The other thing, I don't know if you can see that big orange cone over there. I got the construction cone there, and you want to see if you can get the ball over the string and short. You want to make sure the ball goes short in the box. Short not near the baseline. So you don't want to hit your attack shots long. You want to aim short with a really good rotation. So if you focus on brushing the high ball and getting the ball to go short in the box there, you're going to have a lot more success. Most of my students right now, they miss the ball long. So they get a ball up here and they kind of send it too far, they extend too much, and they don't hit enough spin, and the ball tends to go deep past the baseline. You want to aim right for that yellow string. You get a high ball, hit up on the high ball, and you aim right for the, kind of where that construction cone is, just a little bit past the service box. You don't want to aim in the service box, but just past it. That was a pretty good one. I was under the string, but I did hit the target. So that's really important on the high shots. Okay, let's say we got like normal shots, medium height shots. They're right in your strike zone around between the hip and shoulder, belly button level. I brought the string down a little, so I adjusted. Now my sight line is a little bit lower because on a medium height shot, I'm not going to hit with as much height over the net. The higher ones, I'm actually going to be able to clear the net even more than on lower balls. But I'm still going to aim, so now maybe a foot, 1.5 feet over the net. And again, you're going to work your top spin. You aim right for the string, could be a little under, could be a little over. What you don't want to do on medium height balls is go like this. If you see that one, it's too much shape, it's too spinny, it's not going to be aggressive enough, it's not going to hurt the opponent enough. So that's a mistake, to go too spinny on these and sit it up and play with too much shape above the string is actually not what you want. You want to kind of aim right where that string is, and you want to hit this low spin, low spinning attack. That was a pretty good one. So it's near the string line, foot and a half maximum above the net, with very good rotation. What you don't want to do is, slam this ball. You don't want to kill this ball and hit it too flat. That was in, but it was not safe. I tightened up, I locked my wrist, and I slapped the ball. You do not want to slap any of these balls in the midcourt here. You always, almost always want to play them with a nice rotation. That means you have to have lag, you have to stay elastic in your arm, you have to have a loose wrist, and you have to swing on an upward path. You're always going up the back of the ball on these kind of medium height shots. Okay, the dreaded low ball attack. Low balls in the midcourt, players miss these all the time. I have students who really struggle with this particular shot. So there's a lot of nuances down here, but when you have a ball below your waist or below your knee, this very, very tricky shot. And if you notice, I put the string back up high. You may be thinking, wow, that's crazy. Why is that string up high? Because actually on low ball attacks, low mid-court shots, you want to aim under the string. And you want, again, excellent rotation on the ball. So you want to whip your wrist, you want to get that lag and spin, but you want to aim below the string, and you want to get very close to the net. This one should skim the net. This one should not have a lot of margin above the net. It's just because of the angle that you're hitting from, you got to get it up and down. You got to whip it down here, a lot of whip here. Some players will even reverse here. Some players will come up abruptly, or you can do a nice wiper action here. But that ball has to be close to the net with a lot of spin to bring it down. Most people try to go boosh on these low balls. They try to bust a hole through the net. They tighten up and they just blast this thing, and they make it about once out of 10. Okay, you get this low one here, you got to spin it, really get under it, and then you can get it between the net and the yellow line with a lot of spin, not too fast. Your wrist can move fast, the racket head can move fast, but you want to get the ball up and down. So it's a very, very tricky shot that takes a lot of good racket speed and good whip and a lot of spin to make it safe. Otherwise, you're dead. You're not going to be able to make this shot because you got to get it from, you're way below the net here. The net's the barrier there, and you got to get up and down. Something like that. And if you notice, again, I kept the short target over there. You want to get the ball short. You do not want to lift it up. This is a mistake. I have a low ball here, and I play too high. See, that one's going to get killed. If I come to net behind that, I'm going to get passed for sure. So I got to keep it low with a lot of spin. It's a low spin shot, very specific. See if I can get another good one here. Okay, that one went above the yellow. See if I can get one skimming the net. Tricky low ball. I got to whip it, and I got to dip it. So I got to whip it here and then dip it over there and try to get it short. I do not want to aim it too deep. Ready? Here we go. Okay, that was in, and it was below the string. That had a lot of dip. I don't know if you saw that. That ball was rotating. It dipped down real good. That one too. That's a perfect example of a low spin, fast rotation on the ball, not too fast in terms of MPH, and the ball skimming the net, dipped right down in there. Very safe. I'm going to make that shot every time. Okay, super bonus tip that I had to share with you guys is keep your head still. So when you're scrambling, the adrenaline's pumping, you're sprinting forward to that short ball, do not pull your head out of alignment with the shot. Keep your eyes, like Federer, like Alcaraz, like Nadal, keep your head still through the shot. So attack, get the whip and the topspin, but keep your head still. My old coach, Gilad Bloom, legendary Israeli Pro Tour player, and now a legendary coach from Israel, Gilad trained me to be super locked in with my eyes, so to control my gaze here. Every time I hit, we used to drill that relentlessly, every attack shot, not to look at the opponent, not to look at what the opponent's doing, because there's a lot of distractions when you're moving forward in an attack situation. The opponent's scrambling, the opponent may be moving left and right, and you just got to focus on you and the ball and do your business and don't let your head move. So a lot of times when you're working on that, hit this shot here and pick a spot, like pick a spot on the wall or a spot on the fence, and don't look actually where the target's going, where the ball's going to the target. Just focus here on the impact between the ball and the strings. So right in here is where you keep your eyes locked in. The other person's doing what they're going to do, and you don't even worry about that. It's just you sprint up to the ball, short ball situation, you know you're going to attack, and you don't look. Whatever happens, happens. All right? So don't even look. It sounded good. I didn't see it. I saw it out of the corner of my eye, but I did not shift my head. That's the key. If you shift your head, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. Okay, guys, those are my super secrets. Got the high ones, medium, low ones. Remember, the high ones, you're actually going to hit the highest over the net. Those are you're going to spin those. That's really, really important secret. The high ball, you hit up on the high ball, and you're going to clear that high string. The medium balls, you're going to bring down the targeting, the sight line, and you're going to aim a little bit lower than on the higher ones, and you're still going to apply that good spin. You're always going to try to aim the ball short. Remember, short is better. Most people miss their attack shots long. Never aim too deep on attack shots. And then the low ones, the super tricky low ones that everybody hates, those you're actually going to aim low. Paradoxically, you're going to aim those low, but with a lot of whip. Low whipping shots, skimming the net. So those are the three situations and the three tips for those specific shots. Guys, I hope you enjoyed these attacking short ball tips. My favorite drill with the rope, short target. Remember, keep your head still. Don't move that head when you're moving forward and you got that adrenaline rush and you're attacking. Keep your head still and work the topspin. Stay loose, stay whippy, my friends. Stay whippy or it's not going to be good on the other side. Whip it here and dip it over there. There's a lot of other nuances here. These are my favorite tips that help all my students. There's some specialty footwork here. We can do that in another video because that's oftentimes the linchpin as well, what you're doing with your feet. But if you focus on this drill and these tips, I know you'll hit the attack shot better.